We are live.
Right, we're live on Instagram. Welcome to our friends from Instagram, and we are recording for the podcast Inside K-Swiss, the weekly show where we tell you what we've been up to here at K-Swiss in the brand. I'm here with the actual host, who I've just talked right over, Omar Presswich.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Inside K-Swiss. It's
nice to have you in the office for a change. Where were you last week?
I was in my hometown, actually my home country, Mexico, eating tacos, getting lost, speaking Espanol.
Where did you get lost?
Dude, I went to I had a 10-hour layover in Mexico City.
Did you leave the airport?
Yeah.
Terrible idea.
Well, I did that on purpose because I've never been to Mexico City, and so I took an Uber, which is the only safe way to leave the airport. Mm-hmm. And once we were going towards the downtown area, I'm not joking, I've never been more scared in my life.
Really?
I thought, shit, I'm going to get kidnapped.
Yeah, you were.
I rolled up my window. We were going through like some of the most ghetto, scary places I've ever been to.
Yeah.
And I had no cell phone service. So the whole time I'm like, shit, if anything happens.
Not only am I going to die, but no one's going to know.
No one's going to know. And have you ever been to Mexico City?
No.
It's once you get to like the touristy area that's like safe.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, no, people do say great things about Mexico City once you're in there. But anyway, we're nice to have you back.
I'm back.
Nice to have you back to work. Hope you enjoyed your trip, and that's the last one you're going to have for a long time. Anyway.
All right.
Moving on. What's been going on last week? We just actually are taking a breath because we just got back from ComplexCon. Mm-hmm. Those of you who know, it's a annual trade show for consumers where the sneaker and I would say the streetwear industry maybe, is like a Super Bowl for us. So we all show our best stuff once a year in Long Beach, California. But also there's brands, video game brands are down there. Lots of different brands from the culture. There's who else? There's like beer brands, soft drinks.
Did you see a DHL, the delivery service brand? Yeah. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, Blockbuster had some like a licensed Blockbuster apparel, all sorts of stuff. And it's a 2-day event. This is the fourth. I think this is the fourth one. The third one we've actually participated in.
It was the fifth. I only know that because I saw something today on Twitter that said that it was the 5th year.
Okay, or maybe it was the 5th ComplexCon because they did one in Chicago. So maybe it was 4 years and one in Chicago. I don't know. What do we know? We were just there. But we weren't concentrating, obviously. But yeah, great show, great event. And we took the opportunity this time to launch the very new and beautiful GaryVee 005 from K-Swiss. This is our 5th style in the collaboration, and it is actually the 10th shoe in the collaboration. So actually maybe what we could do is we could ask someone for our contest later. Okay. Do you want to do a contest now?
No, if you know what you want to do for the contest, do it. Let's do it.
All right.
Contest time.
10th shoe drop. This is the 10th shoe drop. Actually, this is the 9th shoe drop. Tell a lie. The 10th one's coming next. Another colorway of this. Was I supposed to say that?
Yeah, you can say that.
What was the 5th drop in the GaryVee line of shoes? Not the 5th style, because we've done 5 styles, but
what was the
10 overall drops. What was the 5th drop? That's the question. Winner gets a free pair of shoes. And let's talk about the GaryVee 005. So
this is your favorite one. I remember when this was being designed and built, you kept talking about it. And at first I was a little worried, but when I saw the finished product, I'm wearing them right now. They're actually my favorite shoe, hands down, the best GaryVee design to date. Yeah,
I think it's the most sort of commercially wearable type of sneaker, is my opinion on it. Although it does have this really unique card flap that's attached to the side. This attachment, I'm not sure if you can see it there. I'm going to show the Instagram crew. This is what makes it the most unique, in my opinion, is this additional little piece here, and you actually can remove it, but to remove it you'd have to undo the stitching. So you could cut the stitching and take that tab off if it bothers you, and actually that tab could then be a collectible piece on its own. It's actually almost, well, it's modeled off a beautiful luggage tag, so it's like leather outline with a little slip in there and this removable card. In the case of this colorway, the first one, this Friends and Family black with coral, is that pink color's called coral. The black coral colorway, which is only 300 pairs of Friends and Family, which we launched the first pairs at ComplexCon.
Yep.
It has a metal card in the slot, and they're all numbered from 0 to, or from 1 to 300.
Yep.
And the card is this little metal card that I'm having trouble removing right now.
They're one of a kind. So if you bought a pair, you're the only one that has it.
Not sure if I'm even doing a good job of holding that to the camera.
It's a cheese grater. Just kidding.
Yeah, you could actually probably strain your tea through that. Could be double use if you're camping or something. And this one is number 2 of 300. Yeah. I wonder where Gary has number 1 of 300.
Gary has 1.
I wonder if that pair that you snagged for free from ComplexCon is number 3.
Nah, I bought it, and it's 50 and 51. I bought 2 pairs.
Oh, you did?
You have
Look
to
at
get
you,
2
what
pairs.
an investor. So this is actually the smallest run of GaryVee collaborative shoes we've ever done. The second smallest run, which we've talked about before, was the Crushing It 002. And the yellow and black, we did 600 pairs. This is only 300 pairs. They're all numbered. This tab, not only is it like, excuse me, like a luggage tab, but it's really designed based off Gary's love for baseball cards. If anyone follows Gary, he's been talking a lot recently about baseball cards and trading baseball cards. So the idea here is that this is like a collectible card piece that can be switched out. You know, new cards could be added. And that was the kind of kernel for that idea. And just makes it very unique. Aside from that, you've got this really subtle kind of stitch highlights in this pop color of coral. So pink is very popular in men's fashion, as you know. In fact, our recent launch of the startup, that really pale pink color sold out for men straight away. A couple of things to notice. Obviously, 005 is featured a lot on that shoe. Because 5, it's the 5th style, but also a very important number for Gary personally, as it was the number on his original Jets knitted sweater that his mum knitted for him. So when he was a kid, he couldn't afford a Jets jersey, so his mum knitted him one, which is obviously what you really want, is like a super sweaty, hot knitted jersey to wear to school, but it had the number 5 on it, and so that's really a personal thing, and so number 5 is important. And a couple other really interesting details on here.
If you wear the shoes, obviously you have to wear them together, but the back has a G and a V, which I didn't notice until I shot photos of the shoes. I was like, oh, snap, cool. Yep. GV. It's got a really cool
this is the V one.
V, almost like a superhero type design on the back, which I think is really, really awesome.
Yeah, this V here is actually sort of sculpted, so it's... it has dimension to it, and really nice detail. Again, all contrast stitching on the tab there with the shield. Gary's signature in the pink contrast color on this little suede panel here.
The inside has
yes, that's a good point. I'm sure you can't see this, so excuse us, but
the inside of the shoe is numbered, right, so just like on the outside has the luggage tag, or the card itself has the number. On the inside, it has the stitch number of the shoe you get on one, and then on the other side...
Let's leave that for a secret until you find it. On the other one is a stitch tab with a saying. We're gonna
I won't say anything.
Because I think that is such a great little...
I didn't even notice it until I saw the shoes.
And I just cracked up when I saw it. I thought, that is perfect. So let's let that be a surprise. Cool. Let's leave some elements of surprise in the shoe. Anyway, that's the GaryVee shoe. I actually really like, this is my favorite piece on the toe down here, is this sort of almost separate stitched on panel. Here, this little piece. You don't often see that, and I think that's actually really quite unique, and it just sits really well. It was actually designed in conjunction with Gary and his team, Team Gary, Tyler, and those guys, with MJ Kim, who's a designer here at K-Swiss. MJ was the primary designer of this. Let's talk about the box for a second, because I think the box is beautiful too.
So cool.
Also has this V, stylized V, Really a nice gloss and matte combination print on the top of that box. Really nicely done. A lot of little details here. 005.
The pull tab on the box is really,
pull
really
tab,
cool.
quite premium. I don't know if this one actually has the bag in there still.
Oh, it's in there.
It does have the bag in, although this one is poly bagged. But the there is a bag. Actually, the box itself also has the coral inside, so that's also got the color in there, which is really nice. And then the shoe bag that comes with it, the dust bag, says authenticity wins. And this is really just about, being true to yourself and being who you are, and great positive messaging, which that always features on these drops, whether it was clouds and dirt or optimism and positivity. I think that's one of the things about these Gary drops is they're sneakers, but they also carry these bigger
messages.
Messages and meanings, and I think people really appreciate that. I certainly think clouds and dirt, that really came through, didn't it, and sort of took over.
Yeah, that's
bigger than the shoe.
Yeah, that was the first time I saw a sneaker from K-Swiss that was more than a sneaker, that had like this huge message that people really connected with. So
yeah,
it's cool to see that.
So there you have it. That's the authenticity wins. That shoe is actually, the style name is the GV005 in their black coral colorway, and only 300 pairs, but there is a release coming that you should be able to get your hands on. You can get these on StockX, by the way. Check eBay, places where you get where people resell. But there's a more available one coming at some point. We'll leave that one for now.
Yeah, if you were at ComplexCon, you saw it, so you know what it's all about. But if you didn't, just be on the lookout. Put those notifications on. Text Gary, because he's been tweeting about that a lot. So
yeah.
Yep.
Let's talk about Jupiter for a second.
Little Jupe.
Yep, Jupiter, who we've made some sneakers with. He's an Instagram influencer. His Instagram is @LittleJupiter, LIL Jupiter, 2 R's. And he recently had his account taken down, so that started the hashtag Free Jupiter movement.
I love that, by the way.
Yeah, when I say movement, it was me posting it once on my hardly followed Instagram, but I did try. But I think he's now back up. He's 450,000 followers.
I want to note something about Little Jupiter, which I think is phenomenal. During this whole process, he still built a whole nother account, and it's up 50,000 followers or more. And I think that says a lot about him and his technique of posting, where you can have your whole thing taken down, but if you're good at what you do, boom.
Yeah, you can get an audience back. But, even there, it was probably 10% of his primary audience. So it was a blow, but he got his account back. Now, this is really a story of, copyright infringement, of posting things that other people's photographs. Now, there's a few instances where some people who own those photos are literally have companies scouring Instagram to try and find people who've posted them unknowingly in some cases, and then shake them down for money. So this is like, I just warn everybody, be careful what you post, because there's a lot of bottom feeders out there who want that money, and they'll do anything to anyone to get it. So be careful of that. And the content creators are the worse off for it. So luckily that thing's worked itself through, and some exciting things coming up on the Jupiter front soon. If you follow him, you'll see it on his Instagram. If you follow us, you'll see it bubbling on ours, and we'll have more news on that.
Yep.
Probably on the next episode of Inside K-Swiss, right?
Yes, and I'm going to post a photo of Little Jupiter, because those shoes are so fresh.
Yeah.
If you were at ComplexCon, you saw them.
Are we talking about release date yet?
No release date yet. We don't know yet.
Okay,
Soon.
but you want it, that one is absolutely hot as hell, so you want to be on top of that. Let's talk about what's happening with Startup. So Startup's a project that Omar's been putting a lot of work into.
It's my favorite project.
Yeah, hopefully you guys saw the original Startup, which was the Icon Startup in the 3 colorways, with the black, the brown, the gray. This is the one we brought in Jordan Harbinger for. Mm-hmm. The second drop was the pink and the green, the very light, confidence, and
that was with Andy Wynn.
Of Afters Ice Cream and some another entrepreneurial things he does. And what's the next stage?
The next one drops next week on the 15th. So Instagram, be on the lookout, YouTube, and podcasters. It's
That was creepy. That was
radio
ASMR.
voice. All right, so it's self-confidence, and this shoe, actually, a lot of the people that I've been messaging on DM, when I show them the inside, they love that. They've actually been saying, "Whoa, I needed to see that," or "I needed to hear those words." Self-confidence, and that drops with someone that has a lot of self-confidence,
Self-belief.
Self-belief. My bad, I already messed up. Michaela Alexis.
Yes.
And you can actually talk about Michaela because you and her are homies and have a history together.
Yes, actually, I met Michaela when we both spoke at an event in Toronto, Haste and Hustle, and I met her. Actually, I'd been following her on LinkedIn because she was one of the very first people on LinkedIn who was really like a LinkedIn influencer, if you will.
Yep.
I mean, you used to influencers on Instagram, etc., but LinkedIn was, it wasn't that long ago that it was purely business, and it's really opened up now. If you follow LinkedIn, if you're on LinkedIn and actively, everyone's putting videos up there now about themselves, blabbing on. But Michaela, yeah, you included, Mason too behind the camera. He loves it.
He's really good at it, by the way. If you read his articles, I'm like, oh, wow.
He is good at it. Let's not give him too much credit. But Michaela Alexis really was early on LinkedIn and talking about her experiences in business. She really documented her journey from being an employee to being her own run business. She's now a consultant to brands on LinkedIn. And she also is sort of known for really being very honest and transparent about her journey, the good, the bad, and the ugly. She's a fascinating person to follow. And yeah, I met her backstage in the green room during a speech, and we got to talk in there. And I just always felt like, wow. And so when we talk about this muse of ours as an entrepreneurial mind, not someone trying to run faster, but someone trying to be more successful, which we think is the new kind of mode of youth today, is I always thought, wow, she's really that person. So I was delighted to have her come and be part of the startup campaign. In fact, I didn't do anything. I just said to you, like, hey, Michaela Alexis would be great for this, and see what you can do. And the next thing you know, she's in the office. So good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we recorded her. Well, you guys, where did you go?
We went to a really cool hotel just up the street. What was it called, Mason? The Belmont, the Nomad. If you're around LA, it's a beautiful hotel, and we shot some awesome photos of her there, and we walked around the city. And we also, with you, we recorded a podcast that will come out on Monday.
Of course, yeah, right.
For CEOs Wear Sneakers.
Yes. I got back in the saddle on CEOs Wear Sneakers, right? And I did a podcast with Michaela, of course. Monday, that's coming out.
Monday.
Check it out. That's a really good one, and you can hear all about her. One thing I forgot to mention on this shoe, by the way, at ComplexCon, is Mason did a beautiful video for Inside K-Swiss on the experience at ComplexCon. You got to go see it. I think it's his best work, and it's all the visuals from the show of Gary of this shoe. Really cool. That's on our YouTube channel, and go have a look for that. And then Michaela stuff you'll see coming out starting next week.
Exactly.
That shoe, by the way, that she's promoting, which is the Court Pro startup. At $59 only at kswiss.com, is really a great, really beautiful, simple sneaker. And it's the white one is self-belief, and the black one is risk. So under the tongue, you have that stitched word to remind yourself when you're wearing it. Like, believe in yourself.
Jordan will be back for that one too, by the way.
He is?
Yeah, we're going to snap some more photos of him. Oh,
excellent. In the black colorway?
In the black colorway.
Oh, perfect. Who knew? Man, you've been busy.
Yep.
Did you do that from Mexico?
I mean, I did some from Mexico, but I love the startup campaign. It's something that really resonates with me. It's an opportunity for a bunch of creatives and entrepreneurs and people to really get an opportunity to know what it's like to have your own sneaker or be heard or be in front of a campaign. And that's the beauty of it, because it's the type of people you don't expect to have a campaign. Right.
But Jordan, Michaela, these are the people I think are Andy Wynn. These are the people that are influencing people these days. And I think it's going to get more and more recognized as time goes on that they are the real influencers of, not necessarily in volume, in some cases in volume, but in depth and in quality and in real, people, there's a real hunger out there for not only motivation, but tangible advice.
Exactly.
It's not just like one liner, like, if your dreams aren't big enough, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough, like, please.
Pinterest.
Right, exactly. It's not Pinterest quotes. It's like really...
It's the real shit.
Yes, real tangible advice of how people who've done it actually did it. That's the key. And so, that's all coming out. What else have we got?
We have, we just talked about...
Oh, we have a winner from our last giveaway.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So the last episode that Barney and I recorded of Inside K-Swiss, we had a competition on... If you can guess what the #1 selling shoe was on e-com. Mason, hand it to me. It's right behind you. This shoe, boom, the Blippi shoe was the #1 shoe that was selling on our e-com.
Why?
Well, Blippi is insane. He's like one of the top YouTubers right now, and he's got
billions,
like 5 billion.
Yeah,
5
it's
billion
out of control.
views. But this was the #1 sneaker. And it's our #1 played YouTube video with, I think we're at 10 million views.
Of our video with him?
Of our video
Wow.
with him. So congratulations, Style with
the
Kicks.
The reason this was the biggest seller was because it was Halloween and all the kids were dressing as Blippi.
Yeah.
That's why.
Hashtag Blippi.
And we're not as stupid as we look. We kind of figured that would happen. So we did sort of hype this before Halloween because we knew kids would want to dress up as Blippi, and it became the #1 seller that month. And Style with Kicks.
Style with Kicks.
Is that his name on Instagram?
Yep, that's his name on Instagram.
I mean, obviously I know him, but I don't know what his real name is. But then that's the social world.
Yeah, Style with Kicks. So if you're watching,
good job, you win.
You won, and what he wins is whatever sneaker on kswiss.com. Just let me know, DM, and we'll hook you up.
All right, perfect. And then this week is the 5th sneaker. What was the 5th sneaker in the GaryVee collaboration journey with K-Swiss? Get your answer in ASAP. All right. I think we've talked for a long time.
Exactly.
It's been a busy week. A lot been going on between ComplexCon and everything else. And more coming. So I think the next couple weeks are going to be busy. So tune into the next one. We'll have more announcements.
We have Black Friday coming up, and we've already announced a little bit of what's going to happen, but I think the shoes that are about to drop for Black Friday, they're heaters.
Right. That's all you need to know. So check in the next few weeks. We've got drop after drop after drop of stuff you're going to want to see. But other than that, let's get back to work.
All right, let's go.
Talk to you all soon.
Peace.